Hello and welcome. It is the 21st day of August 2019. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like within each zone, risk and their own reward. And let's quickly go over multiple time frames as a monthly chart, continuing to pause in there. But we're down for the day, and we'll get to that in a little bit. As the weekly chart is just having what period 5, 6 or so, 1, 2, 3, 6, since it's hit the July 15th timestamp and consolidation within the 18 average. And if it just keeps doing this, it's going to flatten out, sort of like what we've seen on the 3 day chart where we were in this uptrend, price action goes in there, and it's just been a considerable amount of periods since July the 12th, and here breaking below it, and even really since June the 30th within this consolidation. Major support established, major resistance established, which is where we see, and I'm going to put the Fibonacci lines in from this point forward. But we're seeing price action down about $850 or close to 8% right now as the price action's in at the low 9900s, Fibonacci in at 98. I had another one of these tests. We've had quite a few of them along the way. More often support and resistance is tested, the more likely it is you take it out, which means it's don't be surprised. I mean, if it does break this today, tomorrow, and I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't either, because in a range bound market that has been so firm, well, maybe we'll have another firm test, and it's all maybe. I don't know. But I realize that if it does end up breaking out of this support resistance range of the low 9,000s, that it's going to have concise moves moving forward towards the downside. And just looking at it with more periods in here, we have this low in here. This is the best correction it's had so far. So the biggest move is just filling a little bit of this empty space or of the rally that it has had. This next key level of Fibonacci is 63 and a half. And when we look at this, I mean, this was just sick how this was low volatile movements. So the story keeps on changing, and the story will continue to keep on changing along the way. And another key thing, if it breaks this level of support, that doesn't mean, okay, it's bearish forever, this Bitcoin is done because it broke this support to the downside. For it could easily find a higher low, got key low, will be key high, and whatever the key low breaking down below there happens to be. And at the same point, just because it breaks resistance, if that's what it ends up doing, doesn't mean that Bitcoin's never going to zero and Bitcoin's going to win forever. No. But it does give you an indication that if you break in here, if you're probably going to significantly go lower than that. At least I think on the way there would be like the low 8,000 area. But if that's the bottom, I would believe that would be a failed breakdown area because technically speaking, if we do break down below this, it should be a test of the 6,350 area. And just to quickly take a look at Bitcoin on the other shorter term time frames, now using the Binance chart for such. On the 3 hour chart, it was just consolidating a lot amongst this key level in here. Obviously, it ended up being resisting it. A failed attempt when we take a look at this on the single hour time frame last night at about 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, as we had this nice little uptrend from this low to this high. Correctionary mode in here. Here we have getting to the 18 highs, supporting the lows here at about 1600 hours, and then getting above it, getting above this high as well. And obviously that's where the failed breakout was before this went down. But since that point, huge moves to the downside, significant hourly losses at 11 o'clock p.m., losing 2.2%, and the previous hour that just passed, the 8 to 9 a.m. hour, losing 1.94%. As it is now 9:07 as I'm doing this, and I'm done with Bitcoin for this video. Quick look at the metals, but that's all it's going to be until it does something significant because it's been resisting what it's supposed to have been doing, but it hasn't really been going down as far as gold at this 1523 level on the daily term time frame, having a small correction, or it's correcting within the 18 average of highs now. And like I've been stating before, key levels of resistance or support break, noticeable move. We had how many resistance tests near about 1440-ish or so? One, two, three, and then it broke it here. Beautiful move. And that's just always probably going to keep happening in technical analysis with key support resistance that it ends up establishing. And amongst this on the monthly term time frame, as I was expecting, a concise move breaking above here to this key fib. Now what are we going to do? Are we going to have a significant retracement, maybe just a small retracement down to 1420, which is like a 50% mode Or do we have a full back to where it came from at 1321? Maybe this isn't going to resist and we go up here. But for now, again, because it's just been having small tight range since it's within this high. There's not much really to go with until it breaks down below either 1481 or has a clear break above resistance. Silver, pretty much amongst the same sort of deal. It's making its attempt breaking out above it, but it's going to rhyme gold one way or another. Which one's going to overperform the other? Time will only tell. Usually it's silver, but lately gold has had some runs where it's been overperforming it. Hence, of course, where we see silver just trying to break out of the monthly time frame where gold already has. And yep, so that's the precious metal. And until some significant move happens, I'm just going to keep giving just quick updates on it. Okay, now let's talk about theta and really altcoin or ratio trading. Just a couple situation examples I want to talk about. One was already planned to do, and just another one happened for me today, so I'll talk about it. Alrighty, well, I woke up, this theta was at 1200 or so, 1190 high on the hourly time frame. So this is me waking up on, let me just take a look at this on a 4 minute time frame. Yeah, I would have been in here because yeah, I would have been. So here at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm waking up. I'm like, oh, okay, theta and dash I can trade together, which I trade at decent stakes. So I trade larger sizes compared to maybe other crosses, as an example. Like theta go is not. Like go chain and theta is lower stakes. So I ended up selling partially of what I needed, but it was literally it might have even been like 1197 in here at like 724 area. It probably was in here. So I ended up selling some theta, and then this happened. But I only sold like 65%, like I think 300 or so, and I need to sell at least 500 because it would just be too small of an allocation size. And then all of a sudden, it went down. And I already transferred it. So as this was going on, my theta was arriving in my wallet. I'm seeing it going down to like 1181, 1180. It's like, oh my goodness. Then when it got down to like 1170, I'm like, screw it. I just bought. So I end up selling like 300 and I buy it back like 310. Okay, well, I guess I'll just wait for to go back later to make the trade because it was between theta and dash. And I mean, dash really wasn't moving, but it was barely moving up while theta was going down. But more importantly, it also meant the ratio was leaving this like 720 or so area, moving up to 750. So I didn't get to make that trade. But if it goes back lower, I'll end up selling theta, but 500 of them, and then buying whatever dash will get me. And at this ratio, it'll be about 0.7, 0.75. But let's go over a situation that is only bound to happen if you were, say, trading one coin against several other ones, which, of course, with me and Theta, I'm trading against like 10 other coins, so I'm most certainly doing so. So this is an example of something that is only bound to happen now and again. And that is when you're supposed to buy and sell the same coin at the same time. Say you get an alert where you have a cryptocurrency that's had a ratio of 61 and a third and it fell to 52.95. Well, the differential of price would be over 10%, 8 differential on like 53. But which what would you be selling there? What would you be buying? Well, the price went down, which meant theta would be overperforming ABC. So we'll just assume that might be a situation where theta is having a pretty good day. Maybe it's up about 15, 16% or 18%, and ABC's up 2%. And thus the ratio has made a move to get to this point. But we also have DEF, where the last trade was 3 and a third, and then it goes to 4 and 2/9, or a differential of 0.9 and really 30%. But this is now DEF overperforming theta. So this could be a day where theta might be up 18, 20%, but DEF is up whatever, and whatever coin, insert whatever coin, it might be up like 70%. So again, how would you trade this within the ratio? Of course, knowing how much you're supposed to sell really, really helps. So let's just assume you were to be selling 212 theta for 4 ABC coin. And amongst the other one, you would be selling the 91 of the other coin to buy 303 theta. And if you were to do that, why pay spreads or commission? Because you could be selling theta maybe at a price of, say, just for whatever purposes, say 1300, and then buy it back on the bottom one at like 1303. Why? And then the commissions, and especially when you're doing double trades, the commission fees when you're doing this is double because you have to make two trades to make the ratio or to make the ratio trade happen. So in a situation like this, what I would be realizing is, okay, well, I would normally be selling 212 theta and I'd be buying 303. So why don't I instead sell that of 91, which would be the differential of the two? I'd also have to sell 91 of these coins as well. So, excuse me. Let's do this again. 303. Yeah, I'd sell 91 of these DEF coins, and I get whatever in Bitcoin. And now I would buy 4 of these ABC, and then I'd buy the remainder with Bitcoin, which should be about 85. That would be the way you would have to do it. But getting ready for a situation for something like this where one goes up and the other goes down at the same time, how are you going to prepare for it? Anyway, thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.